Hello everybody. Sorry about that. I actually had to do a lot of things to get this fixed. I'm using totally different software to stream now because the last software was not too happy. So please let me know if you can hear me, if everything looks wonderful, especially my head and my face. I'm told I have wonderful skin, so I assume that's the case. I just need a little confirmation for my ego. Beautiful skin, right? I see people in the chat saying that they see something. Your cat's hungry. Slept over? No, I've been sitting here stressing out trying to fix my computer, panicking and moving around like crazy. So welcome everybody, welcome. Happy Sunday. Sound is good, loud and clear, video awesome. Show us your cat. Oh boy, well he's right next to me, but he's sleeping. All right, hang on. Sorry, boy. Oh God, you guys are freaking heavy. Oh, all right, he's very big. Oh, okay. Boy, we got to give the people what they want. You know, some people think that people tune in to see me. No, it's really about you. Oh my God! Look how big this guy is. Can you give me a kiss? This little ham. All right, boy. You're too heavy. Whew. Okay, that was my workout. Uh-oh, lagging badly. Great. A cutout for you, boy. Better soon. But maybe not. Looks like it's lagging again. Wow, this is really great. All right, let me just pause this for a second. Okay, I think the lag is slowly dying down. Sorry, everybody. Thank you for the super chat. Bagging Ladley, Mr. Rich. Noted. I do have a little window open that's showing me what you're seeing, so I can see the wonderful delay and, you know, just check my skin, that kind of thing. All right. So let's get started. I do have an announcement to make to everybody. But before I do, I want to talk a little bit about my health because a lot of people have been wondering, and I haven't given you guys an update, and I kind of feel like I owe you a little bit of an explanation of what's going on with me. So for those of you who don't know, I discovered that I had a tumor in my leg inside of the bone some months ago. At the risk of boring everybody, I will explain a little bit of the differences between this type of tumor and a regular tumor. Because it's in the bone, it actually doesn't necessarily matter so much if it's cancer or not cancer, because as long as it stays in the bone and doesn't grow, that's all that really matters. And this is not medical advice. This is just my understanding of advice that was given to me. Thank you for the super chat. Truly awesome. Appreciate it. So the advice that I was given, I saw I got 8 different opinions from doctors, including some of the top doctors that I had access to. I have pretty good insurance here. And the consensus seemed to be to wait and check on any growth. Okay. And I was specifically advised that even if I were to get a biopsy, this particular type of tumor has a tendency to provide false negatives, meaning that they'll pull some cells out and test it and say, oh, it's benign, you're all good. but then later it may turn out that some other part of the tumor was malignant. So again, this is not me telling you this. This is just what I was told. So they said you can do a biopsy if you want, but it's not really going to tell you anything unless it tells you that it's cancerous. And even if it is cancerous, if it's not growing, I mean, it doesn't really matter. The key thing here is it growing? So they told me to wait for 3 months and then check again. So I have done that. Now, the original reason that I went into the doctor was not that I suspected I had a tumor. It was because my knee was hurting due to an athletic injury. Because if you can't tell by my amazing physique, you know, I'm some kind of athlete anyways. And my knee was hurting, so I went in. So an update on that is my knee does not hurt anymore and is for the most part healed, although I'm still not doing cardio and running because I want it to be really just healed all the way back to normal so I don't risk that happening again. When I went in for my follow-up, the doctor told me that the tumor had not grown, which is the best news. You know, I tell people the only way that the news could have been better is if they said, "Oh, tumor? What tumor? You know, the guy who did your X-ray, we fired him. He was just scanning his own leg and pretending that was every patient's leg. You know, he's the one with the problem, not you. You're good, buddy." That's not what they told me, but they gave me the second best news, which is that it hasn't grown. I think there's some clipping on the audio. Let me reduce this a little bit. Oh, a little too loud. Sorry, there's my singing voice, y'all. So the good news there is that it doesn't technically mean that they're sure I don't have cancer, but it doesn't really matter because it's not growing. So that's the best news possible. Now, one of the reasons I haven't wanted to share this is because it's been, for me, emotionally kind of a roller coaster and kind of straining and very stressful. But at the same time, I recognize that in the public arena, when you're making videos and you're talking to a lot of people, it's kind of weird to say like, "Oh, I might have cancer, probably not, but you know, this is very stressful for me," because it, you know, there's people out there that definitely do have cancer that are really having a hard time, and I don't want to take anything away from them. But I just want you to know that for me personally, in my life, in my mind, it has been very stressful sitting around for 3 months not knowing what's going to happen. But thank the heavens that for now it seems fine. So the next steps are I need to check again in 6 months, and then I have to check again every year, basically forever. And if it starts growing, then I have to do a surgery to remove it. Thank you for the super chat about English teachers. I already know English, so I don't pay much attention to them, but agreed. So that's the health news that I have, is that everything seems the best that it could be under these conditions, and thank you everybody for asking. I've had hundreds or thousands of people ask how I'm doing, an update, you know, what's going on with your leg, and that really has made me feel like people out there, at least topically, care. They're interested to make sure that I'm doing okay, and that really does feel good, so I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you, USAC, for the jumping Nintendo controller and super chat. So that's the first thing I wanted to get out of the way, just so that that's not on anybody's mind. If something develops and if I do end up needing surgery, if the tumor grows or anything like that, I'll definitely let you guys know. But for now, I think I can put that behind me. Thank you, Sophia, for the dancing, I'm going to say, pair, super chat, super sticker, whatever those are called. So I did want to talk about that a little bit, and also mention that part of the stress in my life has been that, and this is one of the reasons I haven't been making videos, is that I've just been very stressed out. Thank you, JSC. But there's more. It's not just my health that's been affecting me. I mentioned in a video early last year, I believe it was, just in passing that, or sorry, I think it was actually maybe December of 2000, maybe it was December 2019, I don't know, but I had mentioned just in passing that like I might stop doing these videos in the coming April. I'm not sure. I needed to think about it because contrary to the thousands of of people who think that this is a very lucrative and you know, the big payoff for me is doing these videos, the actual reality, sadly, is pretty much the opposite. It's just an endless amount of work. I do all of the work myself, all of it, all of the research, all the timelines, all the reading books about the Qing Dynasty and the editing, the graphics, the sound, setting up this software, buying this microphone. Everything is completely me except for the translation. All of it. Okay, so that's a lot of work. It may not sound like a lot, but it is. And I've had pressure from myself to replace these functions with, you know, people that are actually good at it. I taught myself all this stuff. I taught myself editing for these videos. Wouldn't it be nice if I could just hire an editor to do it? And not only would it be good for me and my sanity so that I can, you know, not be so stressed out all the time, this is also what the competition is doing. Hey, they're not doing this all themselves. They're not crazy. Thank you, P. Chen. Thank you, Ivan. You guys are very nice. Appreciate that. Do you groom your eyebrows? Wow, good question. No, I do not. I'm a man. I don't care about my eyebrows at all. Alak, what's up, buddy? Alak, still over at base? Alak is one of my former colleagues over at Base FX. Very, very smart guy. Very cool. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Appreciate it. Another super chat. Land Cafe Man. Apparently somebody in a internet cafe. Get China to give Hong Kong back to West Vietnam. Yes, no one is confused about their history at all. So, anyways, you guys are distracting me. What's the point? The point is, I had considered giving up these videos just out of personal stress and because of my own failure to replace the work that I was doing with people that could do the work that were actually, you know, proficient and skilled at it. Now, I didn't quit, obviously. And then I continued on. I tried very hard in my own limited ways to get that team together. And then I just basically stopped making videos. I believe that was June of last year. I just stopped and felt overwhelmed. And I'm sure you guys remember I then made a video sitting in Chaoyang Park talking about basically saying, look, this is, I know you guys aren't used to this concept necessarily, but I'm not backed by anyone. I'm just doing this myself. And these videos are all of my time. So I need actual contributions to like keep this thing going. Now, to be honest with you, the only reason I even made that video is because basically my girlfriend convinced me that like, well, you can't just stop making videos. I mean, you have to say something. And so I just said, okay, fine. I'm just going to tell you what's going on with me. That's the actual fact. And of course that was spun by people into like, oh, he's demanding that people pay money. Like, no, I'm not demanding anything. I'm just letting you know that what I do, the videos that I do, is not a marketable format. People don't want to advertise on this type of channel, probably for good reason. Thank you, Frankie. Appreciate it. Roderick, longtime supporter. Thank you. Be aggressive. Thank you. So in June, I got reinvigorated because a lot of people did show their support. A lot of people are kind of, I think, jolted by that and sort of realized that like, oh, this isn't the kind of thing that I'm used to from seeing these like, you know, vloggers and all these people that just have this endless merchandising and advertising and all these backers and their message is just fake or whatever. Like, this is literally just a guy going like, well, I can't just keep doing this for minimum wage forever, you know. Thank you again for your super chat. Appreciate it. So that's what happened in June. And that bought me some more energy and I felt more alive. I kicked back into gear, got a bunch of stuff done, and I vowed that I would rebuild, rebuild my constitution, my internal dexterity and strength and all the D&D attributes so that I could become a hero and really build this team for myself. A hero to myself to sorry about the mic. A hero to myself to stop draining my own energy. And so that's what I have been trying to focus on, but it's been a very long time. It's now obviously the end of March. Thank you. 加油, 加油. Appreciate it. So I want to kind of give you a little bit more information, and then I'm going to slowly get into what my announcement is. Thank you for the retro 80s dancing pair super chat. So another thing that's been ongoing in my life is I'm almost 40, which may be a surprise to most of you who probably think I'm 25 based on my, again, wonderful skin. But I'm kind of having this weird pre-40 midlife crisis type of thing where I'm realizing that for decades now, I've had plenty of resources for myself, money, bitcoins, investments, and I've always just sort of felt this constant pressure towards saving this stuff for the future. Never spend now, being very frugal. It's just sort of who I am. But more recently, I've started to kind of stress out and think about to myself, what am I waiting for? Like, I don't want to be 60 when I go, okay, I'm going to start having fun now, So that's one thing that's changed, is that I really feel this weird pressure against myself. I tend to always push for the future, but I now have this new pressure of going like, dude, you're getting old. Like, there's no future. It's now. You got to start actually living how you want to live. So that, in combination with the stress about my health issues, in combination with the ongoing stress about this channel and not being able to get a team together and everything, has led me down a path that basically has led me to this announcement. And there's one thing I want to tell you before I get into what this announcement is. So there's there's a lot of people who love to criticize basically anyone on the internet, but I seem to be a popular target. Thank you for the super chat. €5 from unknown European country. People attack me online. It honestly doesn't bother me at all. But it's interesting to see some of the things that they used to think about me that now they don't think anymore, and some of the things that they still do think that they have a really hard time letting go of. People tend to want to be conspiratorial, especially when they're dealing with views they may not agree with, views that sometimes align with governments or corporations or groups or whatever that they don't agree with. And I admit that online it is quite a bit more difficult to tell who's actually sincere and who's being fed what to say or whatever. So it's not all them. It is a bit the culture. But one thing that is a constant that certainly you've seen even in this chat when people were guessing what this announcement would be is that, no, Jervin, you haven't missed the announcement. One of the things that people just really have a hard time letting go of is this concept that Nathan Rich was a poor nobody, and then he started making videos about China that said good things about China, and now money's just coming down on him, and he's incentivized to continue doing this. Some combination of that and or he's bought and paid for by the government or shadowy organizations in the world that for some reason have sponsored the least likely person in the world to be talking about this kind of stuff. So I've thought long and hard about this, and I mentioned in a previous stream that I would think about a way to challenge this back without having to reveal all of my personal finances to everybody. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it. Hello, Singapore. Sorry about your gum laws. So I thought of a way. It's a bit tongue-in-cheek, but it is serious. Okay? It's a bit snarky, but this is the type of thing that I would consider doing. Okay? Once. I don't want to keep having to do this. Let me take a drink of water. I'm going to mute so you guys don't hear me drinking water. I hate it when people do that. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Ling Xi Li. No tones, so did my best. So what about this idea? If you or any English teachers or other right-wing people or anyone at all, anyone, are so sure that I'm backed by shadowy organizations, that I was a poor person, that now suddenly I've seen the light of day, which is money to lie and make up all this stuff and endlessly do research that I wouldn't have to do, then how about this? You and I will both put $1 million into an escrow. Okay? Then we will find a US-based financial organization that can do forensic analysis of accounting. Okay? Forensic accounting. And we will come up with a list of questions. Questions such as, was Nathan Rich a millionaire before he ever made a single video having anything to do with China or politics? Yes or no? Does he have more than $1 million of just bitcoins? Yes or no? Is he a multimillionaire? Is there any evidence at all that any of his money has ever come from any government anywhere? Yes or no? These types of questions, we can have a nice long list, good 20, 30 of them. And here's what we'll do. If one of those questions, one of them says that I'm not telling the truth, just one, then you can have my $1 million. It's not a joke. But if none of them do, then I will take your $1 million and I'll put a portion of it to my channel, and I'll put another portion of that to the community here in China, probably through charity. This is an idea. Obviously, we would need to get legal about it, and you would also have to pay my fees, of course, and for my time. But this is serious because it's very, very tiring and boring to hear the same criticism where I say things like, hey, have you guys ever heard of the White Terror in Taiwan? What about the White Terror on mainland China? And people go, oh, communist propaganda, he's being paid. And I'm like, first of all, these videos don't make any money, basically. Compared to my actual normal life that I have with investments and everything else that I do, this is not lucrative to me. And second of all, if I wanted to make money from doing videos, I could do way more lucrative videos than this. I have 2 amazing cats. I could just get a production company and do some great cat videos. Done. So this sounds very fake. And if nobody takes me up on it, maybe I'll reduce the amount. But let's start with $1 million. So if you are willing to bet that any 1 penny of my money has come from nefarious sources like you think, then let's do this. Okay? And if you're not willing to do that, maybe I'll lower the amount a little bit, and then maybe I'll lower a little bit more. And whenever somebody finally does take me up on that offer, I will gladly dedicate a, let's say, 15-second thank you to each person, on each video that I make using the money that you lost in this bet. Okay? So until then, right, I don't want to hear any more about this because it's such a sacrifice from me. Honestly, it is, to do these videos for the money that they make, and at the same time hear people say, "Oh, he doesn't do all the work, and he's getting paid secretly to do it." It's just such a annoying, pathetic response to a political argument or to a logical argument. So if you don't agree with what I say, great, let's talk about it. If you don't agree with facts, sorry. But if you think that I am not who I say I am, then put your money where your mouth is. I mean, let's do this. It's, as you can see, I get emotional about this. It's very annoying. But you are fighting beta cucks. Okay, well, I recognize that they may not have the money to do this, so it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, the amount, but if they're sure, let's do this. You know, maybe I'll lower it a little bit in the future. So you guys can, I'll cut this video up, and I'll release that part probably as its separate video. And you can pass that along to everybody who says that they're so sure about my money and my financial situation. So now, anyway, tying this all back into what I've been saying this whole time, all these things combined, and the pressure that I have from cat fur on my shirt, the pressure that I have from, that I give myself from turning 40 soon. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. Nathan, I hear China is going to overtake the U.S. economically by 2028. Well, in many ways, it already has. 2025 was something I heard as well. Thank you for the $5 super chat. So I want to talk a little bit more about money now, so you guys can understand why I both have money and yet I do things like super chats and say, hey, support me on Patreon. What is the deal here? So let me make this very clear, right? Because I've said this before, but I admit I was sort of confusing about it. The money that you contribute to this channel, those super chats that I'm looking at right now, these super chats, the Patreon, Subscribestar, PayPal, all that stuff that is contributed to me, I'm not spending on rent. I'm not buying food with it, okay? I'm not buying alcohol with it. I'm not even giving my cats food with it. That money is going to what's coming up next that I'm going to talk about. It's going to this channel, okay? It's going to all the costs involved with this. And I know you're thinking, well, if you don't have any people doing this for you, how are their costs? Well, here comes the announcement. Thank you, Wesker. I'm going to do another water drink just to add a little suspense, and I will mute it so you don't have to hear my lovely lips. Looks like there's almost 1,500 viewers. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. You know, I saw somebody commented on YouTube that said, hey, I noticed in this stream you accidentally said here in America instead of here in China. Are you actually in America? Just tell the truth, buddy. It's like, no, what are you talking about? And they're like, did you leave because of COVID? I said, dude, I've been in China every second that COVID was even on anyone's mind. I have not left China. And then he said, well, I don't know, because you're really good at green screen. I said, I don't own a green screen, dude. What are you talking about? Like, here. Whoa, look at that green screen magic. So it's very interesting to me what people think. But hello, everybody. Nice to see you. I am in China, where I live, here in Beijing. So, thank you, Dickie McGeezax. That's definitely a real name, because you couldn't make that one up. Keeben. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So, he just grabbed the nuts from the green screen. Magic. So, anyway, I'm going to tell you now what's happening. this is the announcement that I have to make to you guys. After careful consideration, I am leaving Beijing. I am not going to live here anymore. There are numerous reasons for this, but this is not a bad thing. This is not a sad thing, because I am going to be using these super chats and whatever else, and my own money that I have been previously reluctant to spend because I've been thinking about, some unknown future that never seems to come, to do something new. Okay, I'm going to do something new. Now, I've thought a bit about where I wanted to live. My favorite cities in the world, a lot of them are in China. And I don't want my adventure with China to end. I was living here long before I made any videos. I had a China flag tattooed on my hand years before I made any videos. And these videos haven't honestly really changed my life in China almost at all. So I have no real reason to leave China. I just don't want to be in Beijing right now. There's a new place that I want to go. I haven't lived here before, but I want to try it, and that's Shanghai. So I will be moving to Shanghai. I've only been there as a tourist before. Thank you, Sam. Wow, hello, Indiana. It's late there. Sorry about that. Really like your work. Hope you the best in the future. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, come to Xiamen. I've been to Xiamen. I've been to Shenzhen. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to Taiwan. I've been to many, many places. Thank you, Joseph, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Welcome to Shanghai. There we go. Thanks, Keeban. So, vote Shenzhen. I actually considered Shenzhen. So I want to talk a little bit about what it is that I'm going to be doing other than just moving. Because moving is big for me personally, but honestly, it doesn't sound like it's really going to affect you guys too much, right? But there's more to the story. So building on everything I've been talking about, I am going to be spending my own money, and I'm going to be spending the money that I get from Patreon, Subscriber Star, all this stuff, on doing this for real. Now, what do I mean by doing this for real? It's not going to be me sitting here doing videos all the time like this. I have some very interesting projects in mind, and I've committed to actually build something that I'm proud to have by 40. Because believe it or not, a bunch of videos on YouTube and people that, find what you say interesting is cool and everything, but it's not the same as like actually having something that you can grab and hold and say, I built this. Thank you. Good luck. Appreciate it. So I will be moving to Shanghai. I will be renting an office. I will be hiring people, and I will be putting them to good work. This will enable me to do these types of videos much more easily. I won't have to think every time I want to do a video of me talking for an hour. Now I've got to spend 2 days doing post-production, right? Because I have to just do everything myself. So I will be paying people to do those things. Now, why Shanghai? Well, because Shanghai, as most Chinese people will know, has a lot of foreigners, and it also has a lot of Chinese that speak very good English. Thank you, Yusak. Going to Shanghai in September. All right. Message me up. I actually don't have any friends in Shanghai. I don't really know anybody down there. And in fact, when I'm deciding which apartment to move into, I actually have to go to Shanghai to check out all the different locations just to even figure out where I should be living over there. But it makes good sense because I need the balance of still feeling like I'm in China. I can leave Shanghai and go to smaller cities if I want to really sort of feel the real China again. But at the same time, I'm not needlessly constrained by my access to English-speaking people, because a lot of what I do requires English, and to operate with me. My Chinese is just not good enough for me to be comfortable in communicating professionally at this level. Although I can understand a lot of Chinese, more than you guys probably think, speaking it is quite a bit different. Thank you, Norman. I appreciate it. Thank you for the yellow smiling lemon super chat. So there's a little bit more too. Other than just making these videos easier for me, which will translate to you into being better videos and probably videos more often, this type of thing. It's not just that I'm going to do. Celebrate with Guan Shiping. I'm not going to respond to that. There's something I could say, I'm not going to say. Why not come to Guangzhou? Actually, I was in Guangzhou earlier this year scouting it out to see if I wanted to live there. And I've been there a few times. It's a wonderful city. There is one issue, though, which is that I'm trying to learn Mandarin, and it seems a little weird to move where a lot of people are speaking Cantonese if I'm trying to practice my Mandarin. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate it. So other than doing these videos, hopefully faster and better, okay, not just the same quality, I want them better, right? If I can do it, surely a professional can do it better. I taught myself everything. So aside from that, I've also really been thinking for a couple years that I've been doing this. I've been trying to think of a good way to empower other content creators and other minds, in fact, even people who don't necessarily make videos. Can I work for you? Haha, been in America for 10 years. Well, I'm going to get to the hiring in a second because I actually will sort of do a job post here. Thank you, Vivian. Appreciate it. Belt and Road Initiative will help develop Africa. Yada, yada, yada. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yes, Belt and Road is a massively impressive undertaking. Travel vlogs would be cool. For travel vlogs, I recommend that you consult a travel vlogger. I do have a quite good idea, I think, for a travel type of video that would work very well for me. But it's the type of thing that, again, I just can't do because I'm spending all my time editing these types of videos. Welcome to Shanghai. Thank you, Wesker. Appreciate it. So, I'm getting distracted. Let me focus. Moving to Shanghai. Building a team. This team will help me do these types of productions that you're watching now and the pre-edited videos that you've also obviously seen. In addition to that, I will be exploring an option to help empower other content creators, other people with alternative ideas. It's something. I don't want to talk about the details of it yet, but because it's still a little bit off. But whew, okay. Sorry, guys. Well, the good news is I eventually stopped talking. Oh, wow. Okay. Kosinski. Kosinski. Okay. Sorry. Thank you. Hong Kong. Well, the whole Xinjiang issue is not for this video, but yes, there's a lot of hypocrisy there. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the bird pair super chat. Appreciate it. Okay, so I'm a lackey. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. I assume that means handsome fellow, right? Okay, so here's the big question. What the hell was I talking about? Anybody remember? I'll wait to see a... Woo! This is really fun. Sorry, guys. I swear it's not me. It's you. If anybody in the chat thinks that it's lagging. It's only your connection. Mine's fine. Okay. Thank you very much, RD2978, for your super chat. Appreciate it. Okay. I'm going to try this again. Let me zoom forward here. Okay. I'm going to try this again. Maybe if I just speak very quickly. I'm going to be looking into ways to help empower other content creators and people who write and blog and think about these types of, international geopolitics in a way that we don't commonly see. I'm going to think about a way to do that. I have some pretty good ideas, but a team needs to be helping me handle these videos before I can move on that. So that's another thing. And another part of this announcement is that I will be creating a new type of video for myself that I think will be much more effective, much more pleasant and fun to watch, and much more professional and good, rather than just me sitting here talking in front of some green screen with nuts on it. So this is something that I have been really wanting to do for a long time. I have tried to get a team together here in Beijing. I've exhausted most of my avenues here. So I'm going to move where basically there's more foreigners and there's also more Chinese who speak English. And it's also just a new city for me because I've been living here for, I don't know, 7 years now or something like that. So it's just kind of getting boring for me. I like to travel around. So this is going to be a big change for me. It's going to be a big change for the channel. You're going to keep getting streams. You're going to keep getting my edited videos. But hopefully, over the next 2 months or so, I should be able to change in a pretty dramatic way. You should be able to start to see better videos, better content, faster content, this type of thing. I will be, thank you, Lewis. I appreciate it. Also moving to Shanghai. Conveniently. Sounds a bit like a conspiracy going on, but okay. So, long story short, I'm moving to Shanghai. I'm building my own media empire. Your guys' contributions on Patreon and Subscribestar do not support my life. Okay? From a personal point of view of what I need for my life, not interested in that. Those things go to me building a team to make more videos, better videos, faster videos, hiring a researcher to help me with Epic China, because when I'm not doing this live stream, like what was I doing all morning? I was reading about the early days of the KMT in a very rare book that I'm sure nobody's ever heard of, and sitting there jotting down notes on every single thing, huge timelines, cross-referencing, all this stuff, right? Very fun for me, but it would be nice to have some help. I will be hiring an editor. I will be hiring somebody to project manage this stuff, and I will be expanding my horizons quite a bit. So I'm building a very small media empire with my own money and the contributions that you guys contribute to it. Okay, I hope that's very clear. So to me, this is huge news, because it was either that I was just going to stop doing videos, or I was going to continue punishing myself and you guys by being slow and miserable all the time that I'm making videos, or I was just going to commit. And getting old, in my eyes, getting old, and all these other things in my life, the stress from feeling like I might have cancer, or at least having a bad tumor, all these things kind of came together and made me realize that I don't know what I'm waiting for. You know what I mean? I don't want to be 60 to start spending my money on something that when I feel old. So now's the time. Everybody who thought I was going away or fading away. In fact, I've been ramping up for a huge jump in what my activity and my online presence. I'm talking about really expanding. So if you're interested in supporting that kind of thing, like my pal here from Silent Whale Group, who just gave me a very generous super chat. Thank you very much. If you want to contribute to that, okay, then sign up for Patreon, Subscribestar, PayPal, WeChat, whatever. If you're interested in buying me personal rent or whatever, I'm sorry, I don't have a way for you to do that because I'm not interested in that. That's not what this is about. If you feel like you want to help somebody buy toothbrushes or whatever, contribute to another channel, okay? Contributing to this channel is about building a small empire, and yes, that will include some way to actually help smaller creators as well, okay? And I really appreciate it. So Silent Whale Group, by the way, this is a high-tech company, and they've been one of my biggest supporters for a while now, so I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Nick, support from Japan. Well, hello. Hello. I love Japan. It's a great country. And speaking for my future self, I'm sorry about the things I'm going to have to reveal about your country. If you're Japanese, Nick, it's not sure. It's not clear. I will be talking quite extensively about Japan in the Epic China series. A lot of people have been wondering about Epic China. And here's the honest, total truth from me to you. It's literally just sitting here, and I'm just so burnt out, I can't even edit it. That's where I'm at. It's already recorded. It's already translated. I have most of the materials all together, and I'm just that lazy and burnt out. So I will try to push on that. One of the reasons that I need a team is because I need Epic China to be moving along, and I just cannot do it. As I pass the 1800s and start to enter the 1900s, the amount of available text and images and videos just gets exponentially more. So it's way more work. It's so much more work for me to research, for example, 1921 than it is to research 1721. You understand what I'm saying? Yusak, what other platforms are you in other than YouTube? I'm also on Bilibili, which is here in China, as well as Toutiao here in China, WeChat, Weibo. I think I'm on Douyin. Am I on Douyin? Kind of on Douyin. I don't do videos especially for Douyin. Douyin is the Chinese version of TikTok. I think they have a thing. I set something up where it like moves my videos over there, so it's not like anything different over there. But that's pretty much it. Sorry, missed one here. Wow, missed it quite a few. Wow, thanks everybody. I'm from next to Beijing. Well, you could have seen me. Now it's too late. Thank you for the super chat. Good luck from Canada. Yeah, Canada. Oh, Canada. Thank you for the super chat. Shanghai. Angelino, made in Shanghai. Miss her always. Well, I'm going to be living in Shanghai, made in Los Angeles. Happy face, thank you. 1bit, you'll definitely bring more impact to the world. Good luck, dude. Appreciate it. Enjoy your show. Have another beer from me. I will spend that on a beer for my future employees. But thank you. Like your research on various topics, a fresh air from mainstream media in the West. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I appreciate it. It is a lot of work. So again, all of this money, I'm not going to, finally I can buy that new PS5. This money is going to a team that I'm building in Shanghai to really do this, because I do believe in what we're doing. I do believe that questions need to be asked about this constant tidal wave of imperialist messages that come from certain cultures and are generally geared towards other certain cultures. So that's pretty much my message. That's my announcement. I'm changing everything in my life, basically. I'm moving. I'm restarting this whole video concept. I'm going to be making these videos. I'm going to be making my sort of normal videos. I'm also going to expand into a much more, much more approachable video style that I think is really cool and really going to be exciting. And I will also be working on ways to help with collaboration and empowerment of other collaborators. Collaboration and empowerment of other content creators. Is it a real live Osaka iPaub? No, this is not live. I'm talking to you from the past. So I just knew that you were going to say that. That's why they call me Dala. Okay. So I appreciate that. Anyway, thank you very much for your super chats. That's really all I have for today. If you are going to be in Shanghai because you live there, not because you're a tourist, and you are an editor, hang on, sorry. Let me pause everything. All right, that was my girlfriend frantically running in here saying, whoa, whoa, don't say goodbye yet. You said you're going to do a hiring message, which is what I'm doing right now. So anyway, if you live in Shanghai and you are looking for a job as an editor, because number one, you have a very strong work ethic and you love to get things done right. Number two, your English is good enough so that we can communicate in a good way and you can clearly understand my videos, including things like comedic timing and, you know, other meanings I may have in the things that I'm saying, that kind of stuff. And third, that you know how to edit. I can actually teach you how to edit, but that would help, obviously. But if you have those first two qualifiers and you're serious, this would be a full-time paying job in an office with, from a company that I completely own. Then please let me know. Not in the chat. Just email me. My email is nathan@nathanrich.online. I will start by hiring an editor because that's the most laborious stuff that I currently do, as well as the easiest to get someone else to replace me with. I will be hiring for other positions, but please do let me know. You can use Premiere. You could use Resolve if you must, though they don't allow multiple SRT tracks to be shown at the same time, so that may be an issue. So I guess I would say I prefer Premiere for that reason. Jorge, I like your content and it's a breath of fresh air from American neoliberal garbage. Any recommendations for anyone aspiring to move to China? You know, I get asked this question a lot. It's kind of weird. I never really think about this type of thing, but it depends on if you have lived in other countries, if you've traveled. I don't know that I would necessarily recommend that the first time you leave your country you go to China, because it can be quite a culture shock. I had been to dozens of countries before I got here, so I had already kind of gotten used to the concept of international travel and what that involves. And even then it was still a big shock. If you have traveled a lot and everything, then recommendations would be, in general, try to understand that much like their language, which evolves separately than English or Spanish or what have you, their culture also evolves separately. And so there may be things that seem to be quite incompatible with you. And there may be things that you even think are wrong or bad. And sometimes you often have to go back and kind of step back and say, wait, is this something that I actually don't like, or is this something that I'm culturally told not to like? And that will make more sense when you get here. It's a very eye-opening experience. If you take it as a learning experience, you can learn a lot about yourself and how much of you is you and how much of you is just your culture. It's an interesting thing that you'll be challenged with when you get here. Oh boy, okay. Do you have remote positions open for hiring? Unfortunately, I don't. I have tried using remote editors before, but the thing is I'm going to have so much work coming up that I will need a full-time person. And also I like to stand over people's shoulders and yell at them and, get that right, how dare you? Don't you know I am the king of hot pot? Get out of here. You know, that kind of stuff. Thank you, Jenny. Appreciate it. Let me know if you need a software engineer. That is the vaguest description of of a technical position ever. Keep in mind that I have led teams of programmers. I've been in the software and IT world for a long time. So software engineer doesn't mean a lot. But in short, I don't do much other than Python these days, and I can do that myself on the very limited amount that I actually need. But if I do get into that world, I will let you know. Currently, I don't. So thank you for the super chat. Currently, I'm just going to be looking for an editor. And I'm going to be doing it, right? I'm going to be doing this. If you're helping to support this channel, even just by sharing or just watching, even is good enough, then we're going to do this together. I'm tired of doing these little rinky-dink videos in my apartment. I want to really step it up. So that's what I've decided to do. I appreciate it. If anybody else has anything to say, now's the time. Thank you, everybody, for your super chats. Thank you, Silent Whale Group, especially. So if you guys want to see a cool tech website, check them out. This is not a sponsored ad. He did give me a pretty big super chat there. So shout out to him. Appreciate everybody. And last chance, anybody? See you guys in Shanghai. Appreciate it. Bye, guys.